I don't wanna see you running away, so careless in the unknown. Be warned, you might think there's no one else around, but someone's always watching. Before you go too far, no one's gonna clean up your mess each Saturday night. It's all up to you tonight.
All right. Okay, we're back with another great episode of SBK, and it's the Arena Chef Show. Okay, so we got some great chefs lined up for you. We got Chef Brandi coming in from the Saddle Dome, Chef Richard coming in from Canada Life Center. And if I get it wrong, you know, that's the way it goes. We're live, right? Chefs, how you doing today?
Great.
Excellent. So I'm hosting today, folks. Not actually doing much of the cooking, but we're going to show you some great dishes near the end of the show. Right away, I just want to get into introducing Chef Brandi and Chef Richard. Chef Brandi, tell me a little bit about yourself and kind of what's been going on with you over the last couple of years.
I started out mainly as a line cook, as you know, a 15-year-old, 16-year-old. Then mainly worked in hotels for about 10 years, mainly a Hyatt girl. And then kind of went around a couple of different hotels there and stuff like that. And then I've been at the Saddle Dome for about 10 years now. So started off as a junior sous chef and kind of worked my way up. And I became the executive chef here about 6 months ago.
Wow, must be lots of moving parts going on, eh?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's
great.
never a dull
Richard,
moment, though. So.
Oh, and never a dull moment in hospitality culinary for sure. And Richard, how about yourself?
Started off just learning from cooking from grandma out on the farm. Kind of fell in love with it through high school, started dishwashing, came up that way, went to Red River, had loved every minute of it here in Manitoba, and was fortunate enough to get to do a lot of my apprenticeship with Core Hotels, or Fairmont, if you will, out in Lake Louise. I was able to go on a nice, fun sabbatical all across North America. Got to work with Oliver and Bonaccini in Toronto, and the last 8 years or so back in Winnipeg, I was with Fairmont here, but I came on here for Sodexo Live at Canada Life in the summer, so I'm still very new at arenas, but to Chef Brandi's point, that there's never a dull moment. There's always something fun, whether it be a concert, a game, galas, whatever it is. It's always exciting.
I'll tell you, we were extremely happy that you decided to stay in Winnipeg, and you're very important to our culinary scene and what's going on. So thank you very much for that. That's definitely important, So this show, we really wanted to dial in and talk a little bit about some of the pain and suffering, about what's going on with chefs and working with the new generation. So, we wanted to dial in and talk a little bit about, the hiring and finding that kind of that diamond in the rough, or really helping develop young culinarians, and sort of what are the things that what are you looking for in a person, and what are the things that really inspire you to put your effort and time into new development and staff, Chef Brandi?
So I'd say really it always comes down to passion for me. Like we can teach people to cook. We can teach people to do, the intricate things and stuff like that, but they have to have the passion first, or at least the drive to want to learn. I can't really teach that. I can't force that out of anyone. So if they have the right attitude, it really just starts from there. That's the main thing that I look for, and especially in a younger person, that, there's a lot less people going into the culinary field. I find that it's really just trying to draw out that from the younger people these days. So yeah. And that it's not sugarcoating, that it's not always an easy thing to do, and there's going to be long hours, and you get what you put in to the job, really.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I find it's called culinary parenting, and it's very difficult at times. And to coin a word, we all came from the same style of backgrounds. As we built our way up in our careers, right? We started you know, at the entry levels, if you will. We had to really define ourselves. We had to find ourselves. We had to refine ourselves to make it to where we are today. So, Chef Richard, what about yourself?
Yeah, no, just to echo the exact same thing, attitude, passion, you know, for us, we're really been fortunate here, knock on wood. We've had a lot of great commitment from all the vocational schools. A lot of the young kids are really coming out prepared and ready to go, even at the high school level. So, you know, all of us are really thanking everybody that's taking a part of all these programs. But for us, you know, as we continue to expose all of our young culinarians to more opportunities and different styles of cooking, seeing them say, oh, hey, can I be a part of that one next time? You know, as a chef, you're just smiling because that's the person I want to know about. And I want them to go home and tell all their friends when they're at school. And it's kind of really assisted us. I don't think, you know, any of us are going to ever be done our hiring. You know, we're always looking for what else we can do. Both of our operations are extremely large, and you need, you know, well over 100 in your Rolodex to call upon on any given day. So thus far, knock on wood, we've been very fortunate here in Winnipeg, but it's been a lot of fun. But again, it's all about the attitude and the investment. So when you see that, you don't mind pouring in your extra time. You know, the way we learned when we came up, I think it's fairly okay to say it's a lot different than a lot of the pathways younger culinarians do now, but again, it's finding the people that have that passion, and it makes you want to be better and make sure your kitchen's ready for everybody. You know, that it is an inclusive place that a lot of work gets done, but you can have a lot of fun too.
That's great. You know, you use some really important words there about inclusion and really developing passion. Not everybody comes passionate, ready to go in a career. They have to develop that passion. And it's really important for mentors like yourselves to help those young men and women sort of come up through the ranks. But not only that, we've seen even the semi-retirees sort of come back out to support some of the gaps that are in the industry itself. Are you using, or I'm not using, have you hired or you worked with any of those types of people, Brandi?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially since, you know, the shutdown of COVID and stuff like that, and a lot of people went to other careers as we went. Just bringing them in as a, you know, part-time event-based staff, because they don't fully want to get out of the kitchen, but they have other things that they want to do, I guess, and stuff like that. So it's great to have them back, you know, for those opportunities, and, you know, have those wealths of knowledge that they've accumulated over the years, and to pass that on to the younger generation as well. So definitely seeing a resurgence of some of the older and mainly people that worked here, so they already know what it's like and stuff like that, and can understand, you know, that they can just come for a 4-hour shift on a game night or event night and go home. Right.
And Richard, are you finding the same type of thing? You're really leaning on some of those semi-retirees as well?
Absolutely. I've kind of gotten a bit of a reputation of not letting certain people retire. So sometimes I call their significant others first to see if they can come and play. But you know, one of the great things I think that we share in these unique venues is that it is event-based driven. We know the dates that we're going to be as busy as possible. So you can kind of go out to people that might be semi-retired or maybe have left the industry that still have that passion and drive, and just say, I don't need you full time, but could I have you for 80 nights a year? Or can I have you for this amount? You know, just as that other calming factor, someone else in the kitchen that has had a wealth of experience and seen many different services to aid the overall vision, so everything can be executed at this level, you know, with this many people. But yeah, no, I'm very blessed that a lot of the people I've worked at, colleagues from the hotels, they've all come, even some reps come and helped. You know, as you know, my neighbors come down and help me, even though we work for different companies. Thank you, Chef Sergey. But you know, I think the communities themselves have really come together, you know, to assist all of us, because we all love food, and we want to enjoy it for many, many years to come.
I just feel like diversity in the kitchen has created a little bit more of an atmosphere that really helps people develop. I noticed if the crew was all too young, it was a different atmosphere than if they were all a little senior. But when they're blended, they seem to work well together, and they kind of draw off of each other because they have a different experience. They have different, mentality, have different, sense of humors. And this is really, from what I've seen going on in hospitality, restaurant, hotel industries, this has become more and more important than ever before. So yeah, that's great stuff, And I know that when chefs are really looking for staff, it's really important to conduct a really great interview, and to not just let it be done in the office down the hall, but to make sure that you're in front of these folks and you're kind of getting those things. One of my favorite questions in an interview was, tell me something about yourself I wouldn't ask. And I tell you, people just get really kind of thinking about what does that really mean, and you'd be amazed at what type of things people will say about that. So that's really an important thing. And so, and when it comes to employers and culinary mentors like yourselves, we in the hospitality industry and the culinary industry and the Culinary Federation, we really, really thank you, and we're really impressed by your dedications at what we've done. So what we're going to do, Jay, we'll take a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back with thumbs up or thumbs down on Chef Ecker's dishes for the arena. We'll be right back.
Been through a whole lot, but we overcome. Enemies in our face, but we ain't gon' run. Never drift off course, always stay on mission. Won't slow us down, cause we way too driven. Yet we put in these 10,000 hours. You won't stop us, cause we got the power. Whole world is watching, and I hope they ready. From here on out, we are legendary. We ain't going nowhere. We'll be standing right here until the end of time. Till the end of time. We ain't going nowhere.
All right, Jay said that it was going to be short. We're back live, SVK, with the arena chefs. All right, so like I said before, we're just going to go for it. I'm going to explain kind of a little bit of what's going on, what you're seeing, and we're going to do a thumbs up and thumbs down, and I'm sure there'll be lots of stuff going on in the chat because there's a lot of people watching live today. So in no particular order, I just was banging some stuff around. I just want to talk a little bit about the cup. I'm a huge fan of the food in a cup. We talk about it on the golf courses, but I wanted to talk about it today for the arena because I want it to be right there in my seat. I want to be able to pick it up. I want to be able to eat it. I want to be able to walk around with it. I want to be able to, whatever it is, not even leave it at my seat. If I need to go use the washroom, I can bring it with me, put the lid on it, boom. But the important part of what we're doing here is just inspiring people to say, I would order that. That looks great. So one of the first things that I did, and I really like to combine components so that there's a variety of things to eat and experiences as you go through the dish. So the first one that we all know about is the sweet potato fry. So I spiced them up with a little cayenne pepper, a little sugar, but I got served with candied bacon with it, with some sour cream and a fresh serrano pepper. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Don't make me. All right, that's great. All right, that's the first one. That's beautiful. We'll keep the other fried dish for the second, but I wanted to talk about this because it has a lot of purpose. This is the new deep dish box pizza box with the vents on the side. Now, I've put the secure stickers on here because sometimes it's an important thing to keep the lid closed, but also if you're going somewhere and you have to leave it or it's being brought to you by somebody else, they haven't been in your food, or if you're sitting in the seats where you can actually get food delivered, this is a really good way to get it there because then I know nobody's been kind of fooling with my food from the kiosk and stuff. So this is a 1 pound burger box. So I use 4 quarter-pound burgers, and you get the 4 burgers in the box, cheeseburger and onion rings. Thumbs up, thumbs down. You guys, you're killing me. All right, here's the next one for you. So we got the triple mac and cheese with the halloumi cheese and noodles. Right, it's going in the cup. I'll put it in the clear cup so people can see it, and you can use the beverage cup if you want to. But the whole idea of this going in the cup here, so we got the cheese going in there. There's the cup of mac and cheese ready to go. The kids will love it. Now, what's going on here? Some deep fried cheese curds. A handful of chorizo sausage on top. Right on. Don't forget the fork. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
That's a big. Yeah, I like that. That's the political. I like that. Yeah.
I think you're trying to give everyone a heart attack.
Is that a 4-pack share or that's a single serve?
Okay, so I use the big cup. I feel kind of hungry, you know.
It's a big cup of mac and cheese.
The thing that I really wanted to do, and not to stop and talk about the dishes, I know I didn't want to do too much of that, but what I was also considering is it was cooked ahead of time. It was held warm. It was batch cooked. It was easy to execute, right? You get it in the cup, you get it in the window, and you get it out to the customer. And it was products that could really hold a long time. So the cheese curds are like ambient temperature and cooked, right? The sausage is holding. So I was able to put something together like that in like 30 seconds, and boom, it was in the window. And that's why I chose that. And it was one of those fun ingredients that people like to eat. And you dress it up a little bit, it becomes an adult mac and cheese, right? So that's what I did with that, baby. So we'll come right back to the fried food, because up next is my version or invention of blended fries. So you got the lattice fries, the sweet potato fries, the shoestring fries, and the little pickle fries here. And the idea of jazzing up the ketchup, so it's atomic ketchup with the extra hot Franks. So for this was about the multiple experience, same portion, just not all one kind of fry. Blended fries. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Yeah, I think it's good.
All right.
Variety is the spice of life.
Yeah.
And Chef, thanks for saying that, because it's really what I'm doing now is I'm trying to show people about having multiple experiences, right? It's like, you know, when you have the hot dog, you have it your way, but then after you're halfway done that hot dog, you say, oh, I wish I had a little bit of this or a little bit of that to kind of put on it, and it create that last experience. So that's really why we're doing that. That's why even when we did the burger thing here, the idea is to have a cup of cheese just to dunk the burger in. So what do you have to put the cheese on the burger when you can dunk it and get that experience, that big cheese flavor every time you eat it, right? So to me, those are really kind of like you're playing with your food, but you're not really playing with your food. Easy to deal with, easy to eat, right? So that's why I chose that. So next on the agenda, a little bit of something sweet. So I chose some maple walnut ice cream and gluten-free turtle cheesecake. And I'm a huge fan of floats. Okay, so that's what I was going to do. And I have ourselves here the float with the spoon and the big straws ready to go. We got the blue and the red straw, making sure that we don't take sides. So we'll put the ice cream in the cup, wedge the cheesecake just like that. The other ice cream on top. And then we got the float going here just like that. Cheesecake and ice cream float. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
It's calorie free, right? Calorie free?
So that was super fun. So what I really wanted to do now was to talk to you guys a little bit about what are the types of things that you maybe just invented or you're just starting to introduce or will be introducing to your menus. So Chef Brandi.
So really what I think we're trying to do in a couple of our different places is variety. I think you touched on that a little bit. To have something here for everyone, no matter what your dietary needs are, what your, if you want to eat healthier, maybe not a cheesecake float, but, stuff like that, some fried chicken and whatnot. But to really have some variety, and with all the outlets that we have, our pub restaurants and our fine dining restaurant and that type of thing, kind of variety is what I'd say. But what I'm finding recently is that a lot of people are wanting, like their home comfort food, the food that they know, but twisted on its head a little bit, and something they wouldn't make it for themselves at home. Because everybody has those memories, those food memories that, whether it's at a hockey game or, that their grandmother used to cook for them or whatever it is, and kind of just twist those things a little bit to make them a little bit more, new and exciting. And that's kind of the main things that I'm seeing recently.
Any new dishes coming?
Well, we're doing all our planning for next year right now, actually. So I can't divulge too much, but because nothing's been confirmed, but we have a lot of really exciting things coming up.
Well, that's awesome. Well, maybe we'll actually have you back on a show just to talk a little bit about that and let your all your great customers know about it. Chef Richard.
Yeah, no, much the same. We're kind of looking into our next year as well, and I know both of us are hoping for a very deep playoff run for our respected teams for sure. But just being able to show, just to Chef Brandi's point, the variety. We have so many different groups of people that are coming, some of them for the first time. So how do we offer variety? We're always going to have room for, where the hot dogs, the hamburgers, wings, all that stuff. But also, how do we have these unrivaled venues that are just incredible. So if you do want to come down and have a little bit more of an elevated culinary experience, how does that look? How do we execute that so that, we're quick, but at the same time, we're focused on our quality, whether that be, little individual, almost composed plates people can kind of grab and go. Just a variety of those kind of ideas are being passed around again. We were kind of waiting on some confirmation on all of those things, so I don't want to get too far into it. But at the same time, it is exciting to be able to show the variety. In our arenas, there are so many different venues that we serve food just that most people don't think about, whether that be buffets for medias, there's private events, functions, we have receptions, alumni rooms, all those kind of things, as on top of feeding the players, feeding the referees, feeding basically coaches, wives, everybody. But then obviously we still have our concessions, so the entirety of it does need to somewhat make sense, because generally we are limited by space as caterers in these places, but at the same time, there's a lot of fun that can be had. And this is also how we continue to keep all of our longstanding staff engaged, is by changing some of those things up and giving people the opportunity, to be able to collaborate together. What do you? They still joke with me on my first days, because I'm new in these arenas. They said, "Are you eating an invisible cheeseburger?" But I was trying to think, what can you eat, to your point earlier, right? When I want to be able to grab it and go to my seat, walk around with it, how does that look? I can't walk around with a full rack of ribs, but maybe I really want something like that. How does it look? So that's a fun little thing. Those are the research and development that we get to have fun with over the summer, right?
Well, that's fantastic. So we heard a little bit about the idea of comfort foods, but has Healthy left the building?
Healthy left the building? No, absolutely not.
No. Okay. So tell me a little bit about that, Brandi.
At least we're finding, and I kind of brought this up the last show that I did, but so a couple of years ago, we introduced a vegan stand onto our concourse, and there was a lot of debate of whether it would be successful. I was very skeptical, to be honest, about it, and but we were having comments about, not having healthier options and stuff like that for those people, and then also vegan items or vegetarian items. And surprising, it's been a huge hit. It was, very, very surprising and welcoming that it was. So we kind of took a note from that and trying to do stuff that's more balanced. So obviously, when you're drinking your beer or, watching the game and stuff like that, there's people that want that pocket dog and want, that, greasy cheeseburger and everything like that. But then there are some people that, maybe want a little bit more balanced meal and that type of thing. And we find, like, in our restaurants and stuff salads are becoming bigger. That was what we found. Like, in the past, we wouldn't sell a whole lot of salads, but now we're selling a lot more of them. Even in the dead of winter when it's minus 40 outside. so definitely you need both. Yeah.
Oh, that's excellent. And Richard, how about yourself in Winnipeg?
We do have multiple items where we do see some traction on. I think everybody starts the season saying, we want to go healthier, want to do that. But once you get into the season, or you have that, maybe that second adult beverage, you have your comfort foods, you have your, your specific, you come to the game, you want to have your jet dog. You come to the game, you kind of already planned that out. But how do we get people more interested? So, it's also about placement. Some people don't even see every single outlet there is, so it's on us to make sure that we help highlight those things and feature them, so. Absolutely.
And I would imagine you see different things selling pre-game, period 1, period 2, right? People are shifting to the next thing, right? From, I don't know if it's lighter or sweet finishes. Are you seeing some difference between the purchases, pre-game to like period 2?
Well, for myself, it's fairly consistent across the board, I'd say. But we have had a great ability to try to do some trial runs with different things, working with our company as well as True North, saying let's see what other people like. So we've had heritage days where we've focused on certain cuisines where we can help promote those. So we've had a lot of great feedback, as far as going through all the different heritages and celebrating all the love of food and sport.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. And Brandi?
Again, it's pretty constant throughout the day, or the event. But I think the only difference is that basically our malts, we don't really sell any until about the second period. So they definitely go sweeter near the end, in my opinion. But you still sell a lot of all the other things as well. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome! Fantastic. So, and we're getting near the closing time, but really what I wanted to ask you guys is sort of one last burning question would be, tell me something I wouldn't ask you about being on the show. Brandi.
Oh, jeez. Are we having an interview right now?
I just did it on purpose. Why not?
Oh man, I don't know. What is something? I can't even think of anything right
now. Richard, you got something?
I guess I just guessed. Were you going to ask me which one of those offerings you're going to bring to the next Chef Federation meeting? Now we know it exists. Now we want to see that, right?
Well, we're going to have to get you to host a meeting so we can come on down and do some collaborating.
Absolutely.
Oh no, that's great. And so much fun today, and I know you guys are super busy. Brandi's got a dark day today, but there's so much planning going on, 7 in a row. And Richard, you're busy today. You got a special game tonight, right? Veterans game?
Absolutely. We got Colorado in, very tough opponent, Central Division rivals. So always fun, but we're going to make sure both teams are fed very well. That's for sure.
And that's an exciting part of stuff. I've had an opportunity to do some World Juniors and a bunch of different things like that going on, and feeding the different countries and people that are coming. So much fun, so many different things going on. So having guest teams, or even when you're doing events and concerts and plays and all the other different kinds of stuff, you get to meet so many different kinds of people, and they all got a different rider, I'm sure, looking for different stuff. And that's for another show, because I remember doing that when we opened the casinos here in Winnipeg as well. And it was like, holy smokers. But chefs, thank you so much for being on the show today. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Chef Brandi and Chef Richard. I can't say enough about all the great feedback that we've seen in the chat. And again, with the thumbs up and thumbs down. So thanks for playing along. And I hope you guys have an absolutely incredible day. And hopefully we'll have you on the show again, or be able to meet you in person. Chef Brandi would be super fantastic. So thank you very much. And this is Chef Peter Ecker signing off, SVK, the Arena Chefs. Have a great day.
You all.
Thanks.
See you later. Bye, guys.